except for low brass, it's going to start on written B. You're going to get louder, and you're going to make up a little melody that gets higher. Doesn't matter what. And for low brass, you're going to start on a written D and do the same thing. And you'll probably get lower. Yeah, we won't worry too much about that. And I'll give you 3, 4, and then we go right into downbeat measure 2.
Okay, so just a little comment on that. I think that the teacher talk for that measure was pretty much inevitable, as that measure is very much up to the conductor. So I needed to convey to my ensemble what I was expecting of them, and I think that I did that very well, and in a consense manner, which I practiced a lot the night before, I remember. So I think that I was pretty successful in that. I told them, how they were going to start, what dynamic, what pitch, and then they're going to crescendo, do a melody, get higher or lower. And I told them how we're going to get into the next section. All very extremely important things for them to know, and it didn't take too long. I think maybe I could have been more concise if I have to do it again next time, which I probably will. I'll definitely be very much more precise. But I think for the first time, it was pretty good, pretty successful. Let's continue.
Everyone sitting up straight. Stand up.
Okay, so I think that was actually a really cool teacher moment that I just witnessed. Um, you know, I I did this for a couple reasons. Number one, there were some students who were slouched a little bit, and I wanted everyone to have a good chance at playing with good tone and good articulation and all that, and good intonation. So they need to be standing up straight for that, of course. And also, I wanted to give the students, just like an extra second to prepare and an extra second for me to see my ensemble. You saw that I turned and looked at everyone, tried to give everyone eye contact, and I think that's important as a teacher. So that was really cool to witness. Let's continue. Yeah, so I think we just witnessed pretty good entrance. I think that I gave a very good conducting gesture. It showed my piano dynamic and a soft articulation, which is what I wanted and which is what I pretty much got, which is exciting. And I didn't have to say any of that too much. Yeah. Oh, the video was malfunctioning. Let's try going back a little bit. Okay, so I think that my crescendo I showed was very successful. I think that um, it was very clear. They did exactly what I wanted, which was great. I think next time I could convey the character of the melodies that I want them to play a little more successfully. Um, but yeah, that was very successful for this first time. Also, um, when we were going to the next section, I think that my 3/4 was big enough to get their attention, but not too big that it looked crazy or anything like that, which is something that I practiced a lot as well. So that's very exciting to see that that practice paid off. And we all came in together, which is always a great sign. Um, and with the right articulation too, which I see that I showed well in my conducting, which I'm very, very happy about. Let's continue. Wow, that was actually a really great cue that I just gave for the long tone there. I'm really excited to see that. They entered with a strong accent, strong dynamic, because I showed it. And it's really exciting to see that they're responding to my gesture.
Thank you. Sounds beautiful, everyone. Let's go back to measure 2.
Okay, so the blanket positive statement of saying, sounds beautiful, everyone, it isn't a bad thing. And I'm happy that I'm opting to give positive feedback, but I think that next time it could be a more specific thing. Um, and I think it's not all too helpful to give a un unspecific approval of something. But I think that for in the moment it was okay, and I can do better next time to give a more specific compliment.
Clarinet, alto, or clarinet one, alto sax, trumpet one, and flute one together. Measure two.
Okay, well, I don't know why I made it seem like I was making up what instruments I was going to have play because I knew exactly who was going to play. I just like kind of, I guess maybe forgot in the moment and I needed to look down. And I think that's just a matter of being confident in myself a little bit more. It's not a bad thing. Like it didn't, you know, really matter, but it's just something that like I knew who was going to play. I just, felt like I needed to make sure, which maybe makes the ensemble feel a little bit uneasy that I don't know what I'm doing, but I truly did know what I was doing. And, just providing a little more confidence in that would be great next time.
Thank you. Let's really, I know it's a tritone, which already sounds gross in itself, but we need that to be in tune. So let's really try to listen across. We're all in
Okay, so I do like that I, made a little bit of a, not a joke, but like, made it kind of humorous because, you don't want to get too serious, but, what I said is true. The tritone needed to be in tune, and while they were laughing, they knew exactly what I was trying to say, which I think is important in an ensemble conductor to, build that camaraderie with their students. So yeah, I like that I'm bringing up the pedagogical um, concept of intonation. So let's continue.
here, so that's why I have you doing it.
Right, okay, and that's what I wanted to say. I liked that I was transparent in this moment and saying, okay, you are all in octaves, and saying this is why I picked these sections to play, because they're in octaves, so listen across for the ensemble. So I'm telling them why I'm doing this, I'm being transparent, and I'm giving them a direction specifically, which is really nice, and let's see if it works.
Thank you. So yes, it's fortissimo, and yes, it's an accent, but can we have a good tone as well? Oh, sorry. Maybe I can have a good tone. Right?
Okay, so I'm there was obviously that squeaking and the mistake in that, but I think it's really important that I, owned it and didn't try to save face or something because it's important for teachers to be honest about their mistakes to show that, everyone makes mistakes. At the end of the day, when I got the correct D, I had very good tone, which is exactly what I was trying to model. So overall successful modeling. And I had great intonation as well. So, you know, absolutely okay.
Okay, so warmer air.
And right there, I just even gave them a way in which how to do that. So I think that was a very successful modeling and instructional little segment right there. Good.
Yes, and let's do the same thing with second clarinets and second trumpets, second flutes.
Okay, so notice how I had to go on to the next section because we obviously don't have a lot of time here. So I'm trying to apply what I just said to the next section of people playing, which I think is a very efficient way of giving instructions. So let's see.
Same thing. Let's give you one more try on that.
Yeah, so I heard that they were much less in tune than the first group, and I was getting a little concerned because I think we only have like 1 minute left in this. So yeah, I was getting very concerned. So I decided in the moment just to give them another try to see if they were going to fix some things on their own. So let's see if that actually worked. Okay, so actually it did kind of work, which is, I mean, not that surprising because teachers do that all the time. Um, but yeah, I think it gave um, this group, especially the trumpets, a second to just try to, reform their embouchure, a little more space, a little faster air. But I really wish that I could have taken the time and told them to do some of that. But as I only had 50 seconds left as of right now, I decided that it would be best to run through it all, I believe. Um, but not before I tell the low brass, just to bring out the different articulation of the staccato, I believe, which is a really, it was an in the moment decision, and I think it was the right decision. I think next time I will spend more time on the trumpets, asking them for more air, more open space in the mouth, in the oral cavity.
We're going to play through the whole thing one more time, noticing low brass in measure 10, you have staccato, so let's just make it shorter notes. Skipping the first measure this time, starting on measure 2. Everyone ready?
Wow, I really love that change in gesture on the articulation change in the low brass. I think that really worked well. Um, they knew exactly what I was looking for. I conveyed it so well in the conducting. It's so funny. I like actually feel like I look like a conductor right now, which is really awesome. It's great to see that it's all working and paying off, and the pedagogical advice that I'm giving is actually working. It's really an exciting time. And that was a great cue. That was like unbelievable. It showed a strong dynamic, showed a hard articulation, which is exactly what I got and exactly what I needed. Good, very successful.
Thank you.
Okay, so overall, a very successful experience. My conducting, I would say, is definitely the most successful part about this, and my posture. I was very, stood very tall, acted as though I was the teacher because I am in these 4 minutes, and I definitely commanded respect to the room, which is really a great thing to see, and it's something that I've been working on a lot in my teaching experience. Um, Another thing, other than the conducting, the modeling was very successful. The intonation of the first group I fixed, which was very successful. And the articulation of the low brass with the staccato I improved, which was very successful. And the second group, while I didn't necessarily give them pedagogical advice because I was running out of time, if I had time, I definitely would have. So I think overall it was very successful in conducting pedagogical advice, modeling, yeah, I'm very happy with what this turned out to be. So I'm excited for next time.